Alright, we're back. So, yesterday, I was working on this level results sequence still. Made some good progress. And today I'm gonna keep working on that. I've got a nice little handwritten to-do list here. Alright, so first things first. When the gymnast lands on a mat, we do this sequence here. Where, okay, that's a little big. Okay, where we actually sort of take over posing the gymnast for you. And this is where does it happen? We got some forces here. These are sort of like springs. I think this is also where the posing happens, isn't it? Or let me double check this. So yeah, let's go find. This is where we start. This is in here. This is when you collide with the mat. We check to see if this is a mat that's worth trying to land on. And then we loosen up the joints. And we do a bunch of checks to see if this is actually, is it flat to the ground? Is it not moving really fast? Stuff like that. And are we the right angles? And if so, we start attempting the landing. Here we go. Right. And so then I have this function here called last chance override joint target angles, which I believe gets called, the gymnast controller. So this is the main script that actually controls the physics of the gymnast. And you can see basically what it does is we look at the controller for the left stick and the right stick, and then we calculate angles for all the different joints here. It's actually really in this loop right here. And then this gives the player basically direct control over the gymnast. And this is the main joint angles here, which all take basically a root leg angle and arm angle and map that to joint angles. So leg angle meaning like the right stick, which is the leg stick. Arm angle being the left stick, which is sort of like your shoulders. And we go down here, and eventually, we're actually setting target angles on all the different joints on the gymnast body. Then here's the section where you can use the triggers to pull in your arms or your legs. And then there's a few spots down here after the player input code where the game can adjust. This is the grab assist system, which basically looks to see if the gymnast is near a bar or something that can be grabbed, and it can actually take over and use IK to try and get the arm in the right position to grab. And then right here we have this thing where we can go back to the gymnast and say, hey, here's a moment in time, gymnast, where you can change the target angles of any of the joints on the body. And so here what's going on, this is pretty simple. If we are attempting a landing, we override the shoulder or the ankle, the waist, and the knee to get sort of like a standard landing position. And we set a certain amount of, this is basically like how strong are the joints. You can tune them up. 1.0 is normal gameplay strength. Okay, so first thing I wanted to fix is that I want him to hold the pose even after we've decided that the landing counted. So I think I can just say if I'm attempting a landing or I did in fact land, this is what I want to do. And that might be enough. I'm going to look at all the other places I'm using this attempting landing just to keep track of how this works. So here is the main code that's going to control. Once we know we're attempting a landing, we get into this code here. We are applying some springs to try and help the gymnast land. But if the gymnast gets too out of line, then we give up. And so I'm going to see what happens when I give up. Right here. So we turn both these to false. I'm going to try something right here too. Ragdoll out. So let's do set joint spring factor. Let's just a test, set this to 0. Okay, with those two changes, we should see. Okay, so let's load up our mat landing test level. Okay, so quick test. Let's try just normal, not landing at all. Boom. Okay, even there, I could probably let the gymnast's body like relax a little bit. Alright, like they still look super rigid there. Maybe in all mat landing cases we want. Now let's try an actual landing. That's pretty close. No, okay, look at that. We ragdolled. That's at least funny. Let's look at this again. Too short. Too far back. Landed it. Okay, then the springs turn off, so we fall over. So I might want to keep those springs going. Yeah, that's getting a little better. Yeah, the ragdoll already looks a little better when we don't quite land it. This looks pretty dumb. So let's go back here. So in here, we make it into this code if we are attempting landing. But let's also do it if we did land. Okay, that will get us the springs back, but now we gotta be careful because we don't want to yeah, like here, we don't want to re-detect that we've won the level or reset it. So this would be if we're still attempting. This is when we break out. Oops. Okay. And then I think the rest of this will survive. Think about that. Yeah. Yeah, because we have these not did lands in here. Okay. Now let's go find here. Okay, so then in this case right here, where we hit a mat that should have been a possible landing mat, and we don't try to stick the landing because there's a weird angle or something. Let's try ragdolling out. Maybe we don't want full ragdoll, but let's see how that looks. The other thing I wanted to test real quick before I run again, after the code compiles, okay, is I want to maybe actually get rid of this giant level complete text, or get it out of the way of score pop-ups. So let's try changing this a little, maybe not quite so big. Like that. Okay, and then this thing has this little like, where is it? Is it on here? Yeah. Has this like wobble effect right here. And I think this was too fast, which would be this number, I think. Okay. Okay. Let's run this again. Load up our mat landing test level. Okay. Let's try a crappy landing. Ooh, ragdolled out. That was better. Okay, let's try some other scenarios. Coming in, spinning fast, hit the mat. Did I not hit the mat there? That must have been a close one. Here we go, just keep spinning all the way in. Ooh, weird. We are not marking the level over. Okay, so that's probably my new change. Let's try a few more scenarios. What about when I, whoops. Okay, so when I don't even try to land it, it's fine. When I do try to land it and cheese out, we're not. Okay, so that's good. And what if I actually land it? Okay, that's okay. We're still sitting on that screen too long. Boom, we should move on right there. Okay. Now why? Okay, so I need to look at that. Is done landing. Where am I using that? But here. Okay, so we make it into this code now if you're attempting landing or you already did land. And then here, where we were supposed to give up. Oh, duh. Okay. So, gotta set this after. Now that we're relying on it. Okay. Alright. Now, how soon do we want to mark the level as 1? So that property is on the Gymnast prefab, which is right here. Landing detection. Okay. So I like this at 1. Let's try this at like 0. Oops. Let's load the level. Okay. level complete. Still a long delay before it moves on. I gotta work on that. Right, like boom. Yeah, the level complete's showing up so late. Figure that out. 1000 level complete. Yeah. Okay. It's getting there though. Now what about the case where I don't land it at all? Okay. Oops. And what about the case where I try to land but don't, which is kind of hard to make happen? What I really want is kind of over-rotate. Alright, this is starting to look pretty good. The wobble on level complete looks a little better. Still like a really long delay before. Why is there such a long delay before we mark the level as 1? Like based on this, we come in here, we're attempting a landing, we increment the timer, we come down here, we hit this line, we're like I haven't landed yet, and this is bigger than landing notify duration, which is now 0. I mean, it should immediately trigger that. So let's do this. Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay, attached to that. And let's run. Let's see when this is actually triggering. Load our level. Okay, now I need the case where I'm actually landing the trick. Okay, look at that. So we're marking level 1 right there. Interesting, so that timing is fine. Okay. Alright. So that's good. But then why? Let's go like this. Let's try the bar level. Like we touch that bar and level complete appears immediately. And right now the whole sequence 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000. Just 3 seconds. Alright. Now let's look at this. One 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000. So yeah, it's like an extra second going on there. And the level complete isn't popping up. It pops up immediately in the fail case. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. Let's double check. Okay. I have a suspicion. Done landing, right? We have this done landing function, which is around and allowed is happening. Okay, so that's why. So let's go back to this. moved on from this, so we're gonna say we can move on as soon as the landing notify duration has elapsed. Okay. Let's test that. Alright, so now if I can stick a landing here, boom. Still a delay. Yeah, still waiting. Okay. So, gotta be more to it. Okay, is round end allowed? For grabbing on something, it's allowed. If we're on a mat and we're done landing, which we just changed. Okay, now where does this get called from? Manager game update. Oh, interesting. Wait, I may be looking at the wrong thing here then. Because we're calling level 1 directly right here. We score the trick, we stop the timer, shoot the confetti, and we start the level complete sequence. So we were calling this. Let's test this again. Okay. So in the case where I'm sticking a landing, boom. In that instant right there, we're saying the level is 1. We go into this code. We kick off the confetti and junk. We turn on the level priority cam. Okay, we go into here. And we start the level complete sequence. Ooh. Are we triggering this again and again? We're triggering this again and again. That would start it over. That explains it. Okay. We're currently attempting landing still. Right. That's because I let us into this code. Right, we need some way to track that we've actually Right, we're still waiting for this to happen. To call the trick landed. Right. Before M did land, essentially acted as the flag. So I need a way to only do this once, essentially. And level 1, do we have a way to get at that? No, but we could add one. Okay. So we're gonna say if not nameref dot is our level is 1, mark it as 1. Okay. It's surprising how just having, you know, now like 5 or 6 different cases where like ways you can win a level or fail a level that come from different code paths makes this code get kind of complicated. Okay, so there's the, we already knew that worked. Let's just try a total cheese. That works and is instantaneous. That's good. Now what about the case where I actually land it? Oh, look at that. Okay. So that's triggering right away. Oh, and let's watch the scoring a little more closely. Boom. Scored it, landed it. Yeah, I like that. That's way better. And we're ragdolling now when we cheese it. On the mat, that is. Like this. Ugh. And I wonder if I should try setting that to not totally 0. Let's try that real quick. So here, this is the case where we decide to not even attempt the landing. Let's try, this is a number I should expose somewhere. I don't know why I'm putting just like, yeah, let's make this into a variable now. So this is up here in our landing section, right here. I want to do public float landing do not attempt spring joint factor. Let's try 0.1. We're also going to want landing fail spring joint factor. This is going to be also 0.1 for now. Let's go put these where they belong. So this one is going to go here. And then wait a minute. The other spot I do that is right here. And this is the case where we failed out. So landing fail spring joint factor. Okay.
This is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
And so now the gymnast has 2 more properties here. Where are they? Do we have a compiler error? No? I don't know what this weird error is. Yeah, there they are. Landing, do not attempt spring joint factor, and landing fail. Okay, now 0.1 should mean they still have a little bit of desire to go back to like the default pose. Instead of being fully ragdolled. So give that a try. Okay. So let's just not even attempt a landing, like just cheese it. It's not really showing, I guess it's so weak it can't even flip the hips over. Let's try some more scenarios. I think that was kind of cool. it's not like full ragdoll now. That looks pretty good. Oh, it's weird how the arms kind of wig out there. Oh my god, I landed a triple. It's kind of a ugly landing. Okay. So I wonder if the depth of field is busted here. I could look into that. Okay. I also fixed this chalk yesterday, but it looks like I did it in play mode. I didn't apply it. These needed to be set to scale mode hierarchy, correct? Yes. Okay, so that's on the chalk here. Hierarchy, okay. Save all that. Alright, so we tighten that up. We adjusted the level complete text. We adjusted the joint strength. Okay. Now let's make this. So I've got a question now. What do I do with, I have a replay button over here kind of in the button list, but I also have this new like Polaroid thing. Do I just make both those ways to get to the, yeah, probably right. Just leave the replay option over here, but also make this into a button that does the same thing. Okay, so this should be pretty simple. Famous last words, I know. So the replay call out, this needs to have a empty rect on it, and it needs to be a button, and it needs to have game selectable. Now where does the cursor go? I think the cursor goes to the center on this, so the cursor can go to itself like that, and we don't do any offsetting or anything on this. Okay, now we go to here, and I'm sure we have a button, edit next map. Let's go look at this. Menu content replay. Do I have this just manually put in? I do. Okay. Manager level complete replay press. So we can just add that same thing to here. No, here. Go like that. We want to give it the game manager, which is going to be up here somewhere. Manager game. Boop. Manager game. Level complete replay pressed. Okay. Now, do these buttons have manual navigation? No, it's on automatic. Okay. Alright. Let's see if that's a working button now. And I'm pretty sure I've got some flow issues going from this results screen into the replay editor and back again. To test that, let's just load up our quicker to play level. Okay. Level complete. Boom, Polaroid. Metals. Chalk looks good. Okay. Can I go over to that replay editor? I cannot. Can I? Okay. It is a button. So that's good. Works with the mouse, but it doesn't work with the controller. Maybe I'm setting this navigation in code. Let's look. It says it's on automatic. And this button is on automatic. Oh, weird. What are these intermediate things? What is this empty junk here? It thinks it's going to navigate to. Interesting. Okay. So this may need to be explicit. Problem with that is that I'm hiding and showing buttons on here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do it better. So we already have the edit button, the next button, the map button, and the quit button. I assume because these may or may not be shown. We don't want the send feedback button anymore. So we need So the ones that are always shown, it looks like, are replay and retry. Okay, we'll do this the gross way. So let's give ourselves a actually, we already know this from the sibling index, I guess. Yeah, okay, hang on. So we have a root for that called menu content. I don't think that's over here anywhere. Okay, so let's do this. Public transform menu content root. Okay, and then we also want public Unity engine.ui.button replay thumbnail button. Okay, and then when we show this screen, so we go through here and we decide like what buttons are active and not active, etc. Okay, so then here we can go update navigation. Okay, now we're going to create this function. And what we're going to do is we're going to loop through we need to make a list of the buttons that are under the menu content. So let's do that. Let's do a list of Unity engine.ui.button menu buttons. Okay. And then we're going to do for int I equals 0, I is less than menu content root dot child count I plus plus. I'm going to look at each child of this, and if, let's do this, game object is menu content root dot get child I dot game object. If not object active self, continue. We don't care about the disabled ones. Then we want to see if there's a button. see if there's a button. Add it to our list. Okay. Now that we have a list of buttons, we can go through it again. Count. Okay. And we're going to have a Unity engine.ui.selectable up selectable starts as null. Okay. Now we can do Unity engine.ui.navigation is no, let's get the button itself here. Menu buttons I. Okay, its navigation is button.navigation. Set its mode to mode explicit. Okay, nav select on up equals the up selector. Down is, are we less than menu buttons dot count -1 or -2, then it is menu buttons I +1. Otherwise, it's null. And then select on left is going to be our replay thumbnail button. And select on right is null. Okay, now we got to assign that. Button.navigation equals nav. And we got to cache that the one up of us is now this one. Okay. And now set navigation for the replay thumbnail. So engine.ui.navigation thumbnav equals replay thumbnail button.navigation thumbnav dot mode is also going to be explicit. Oops. Okay, and then up is null, down is null, left is null, and right is going to be the top button, right? Menu buttons 0. We got to reset that to the button like that. Okay. Now, don't forget to assign references. So now over here we should have, we need to give it the menu content root, which is that, and we need to give it the replay button, which is that. Okay. Making a UI that works fully with a controller and the mouse has been a little annoying. I have a feeling I could be doing it better, but I'm pretty far down the path now. Alright. Oh, come on. Beat the level. Okay. Okay, play again, edit. Okay, so those work, but the last one down doesn't work. I've gotten off by 1 there. But I can go over here, I can go back, I can go over here. Takes me to the top. That's what I expect. Okay. So I have my classic right here. Because this is a less than, this is just a -1. Okay. That's that. So we've got a replay button now. And now, assuming my navigation fix works, okay, we can get to the bottom, we can go up, we can't go off the edges, we can go back, and they all connect to this one. Okay, now I should quickly do this, go all the way out of the editor, and go into a level from the main game flow, like this one. And because there's going to be different menu options here, like next level and stuff like that, so those are all still navigating properly, and I can get over to this replay editor, so that's cool. Okay, now the scary part. If I go into the replay editor, okay, I made it in. Looks okay so far. That's nice. The gymnast isn't as rigid as they used to be. Still maybe a little bit rigid, but okay. Look at that. Okay, now question is, can I exit this? Alright, not bad. I came back to here. Things look okay-ish. Can I play the level again? Yes. Yeah, so there's a weird thing here. Like, watch this when I hit here. Oh, this is a different bug. I gotta write that down. Properly support restarting replay on level retry after win. This is a bug that's been around for a long time, where if you've completed a level, maybe it doesn't matter if you completed or not, I think, but if you played, gone into the replay function, exited the replay function, and then like retry, I think, you can see this is still the old replay. It didn't get my new one. I just did. Yeah. So I need to, that's on my list, I gotta figure that out. Okay, but we can make it in here and out, which is pretty awesome. And go back to level select. Cool. Go back here, come into the editor this way. Load up, I don't know, different level. This level is one I was making the other day. Oh. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Okay. The idea is you kind of want to catch. Alright, like that. Keep your speed up. Fly across here. Catch onto this. Get yourself out here. Catch onto this bar. And you gotta get up onto this mat, which is pretty high up here. Okay, here we go. Double twist, why not? Not gonna land it though. It's better timing. Okay, So I do need to look in this depth of field issue. It's interesting because when you go into the replay playback, the depth of field issue is not there. Which leads me to believe it has something to do with this new camera I've added. It just shows the, you know, like a little picturesque view of the set here. Maybe not the most picturesque in the world in this case because there's a support pole in the way. Let me go look at that actually. Let's see. Let's go look at the wind cam. So I thought I had set this. Oh man, we're like inside a speaker. Which has this cool little wire coming off the back of it. But it means this really needs to be farther in, like, so that we won't overlap with our gameplay objects. Yeah, maybe framing wise we gotta tweak this a little bit. Okay, let's copy that. Okay, but while we've got this running and the depth of field bug is still happening, I think, just not on that camera. Well, it's happening on all the cameras, just depends on where the depth of field effect is supposed to be happening, like that. Okay, so this camera it's not tagged as main cam or anything dumb like that. I don't know what this Cinemachine pipeline thing is. Doesn't really look like it's doing anything. If I turn this camera off, it's not affecting the bug. If I turn off the full screen blur, no. Turn off the camera here, no. Okay. So it doesn't seem to be as simple as just the fact that this camera exists. The main camera is rendering into a texture right now. And if I turn off post-processing, obviously that looks okay. Wow, look at that. What was the deal there? We also had another question here where sometimes it goes to a camera in this replay sequence. It was not. Oh, it's probably because the wind cam is turned on. We'll see. I don't think so. This is the ground camera. This is the drone camera. And there's this camera. What camera? Oh, this is the custom camera, which I probably don't want to use. That's going to be free cam. Yeah, okay. Alright, well that's helpful. But look at this, like... Oh, did it skip the free cam? That's weird. Or did I miss it? Alright, we don't want to loop through the last camera in the list because it's the free cam, which is only for the replay export system. It's not like fog or anything. I don't even have fog turned on. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to come back to that. But the flow to replay results and back is working. Alright. Pretty good progress today. The sequence is starting to look pretty nice. Tomorrow, I gotta add in these. Oh, I gotta save that camera change I just made. Prefabs, sets, beach, level set, win cam, paste component values. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so these win cams, I've only got one for the beach now, so I need to make one for all the different sets. Try and figure out this post-processing bug. Fix that replay not restarting long-standing bug. And then I got some new props I want to make, so that'll be fun. Alright, that's enough for today. Back again tomorrow.